Some of you may not know him, but he's very well known in the insurance industry. He's one of the most well-known insurance trainers in Asia. He works quite a bit in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Taiwan. So Gordon's dream is to have marketplace ministries everywhere in the insurance industry in Asia. Gordon, welcome to our panel.
Thank you, Pastor.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Gordon, tell us how your work has been affected by, or your work first before it was affected by COVID.
Okay, just a bit of background. I started as an insurance agent 30 years ago. That was when I was 26 years old. Now I'm 57 years old. So in these 30 years, I started as an agent and I moved up to build my team as an agency manager. Then after I moved on to start my own company. And last year, end of last year, I retired from my company. Starting this year, I'm a full-time coach, going around so-called business coach to coach insurance people in the area of recruitment, recruiting of their agents, and also teaching them how to sell. So for the for the past 10 over years, I've been traveling around mainly to Taiwan, Indonesia, Malaysia every month to coach agency leaders or insurance agents, coach and train them. So before COVID, that is until from then, since then, all the way until COVID started, I travel every month to these places for a few days to coach them. So it's very much like a church. You go there, there's a hotel room or training room, you coach them and they show up, and it's a lot of human interaction. So this is the nature of our coaching, so-called training for the insurance people. Yeah. So now that COVID started,
but COVID has affected it, right? COVID has seriously affected you going to hotels, getting hundreds of people.
Yes.
And so how has it affected your work first?
Well, it has affected tremendously because I no longer can travel and meet them. Together, just like many of the sharing this morning, that not only you resist technology, I resist technology too. In my line of training and coaching, many people have, even before COVID, they've already gone online. But for me, I resist it. I still travel to do face-to-face training. But COVID forced me to go into Zoom training. So I told my students, I couldn't travel to meet you anymore, which many of them are here today with us. If you can see from the names, you scroll around, you can see Prudential, Malaysia, Indonesia. These are my students. They are all successful agency leaders and they are here. Yeah, many of them are here, so they are hearing the story live. So I told, and now I coach them via Zoom. Instead of traveling to Malaysia or Indonesia to train them for one full day once a month, now I split that into 2 hours of coaching every week. So 2 hours every week, I will meet up with them for 2 hours of coaching spread across 4 weeks. This is what I've been doing. Yeah.
Right. I mean, do you think this is will it make you more effective as a trainer of these people, or would it be a hindrance now? You can't be there, put your arm around them, pat them on the back. What do you think?
Okay, there are two ways, two sides of the coin. To the many insurance people, some of them, the older school people, still prefer to meet face-to-face. You know, they literally like the face-to-face sharing. They say that in sales line, you know, it's not possible to do Zoom training. There's no touch, no feel. But many of them are also forced to adopt to this line. So is it better? I can say in terms of reach, it is better reach, because when you go to a hotel, there's always a limitation to space, seat, because of costing. Now COVID, you can reach a lot of people. Just that the whole difference is that you really have no feel of the people attending. They're just sitting down there. Everything we are adjusting at this moment. The whole insurance industry are all adjusting, including the agency leader, the agents. Even until now, is still at a very adjusting stage, because we are totally not used to it. In sales line, you know, everybody knows in sales, we are used to seeing face-to-face, calling you. It's a very high-touch industry, but now become high-tech, no longer high-touch.
Right, right. Now, of course, when you were doing all this, you also had another dream, right? Besides making the best insurance professionals, you also wanted them to know the best news of all the good news, right? So tell us how you incorporated both of them in the past.
Let's say,
before COVID? Yeah.
God has been very kind. I have a group of students that follow me for the past 10 years, 8 to 10 years. So, like for example, in Malaysia, many of them are here. I've been traveling to KL, Kuala Lumpur for the past 10 years. Every month I travel to KL for 1 day. And for this 1 day, I coach this group of managers from AIA and Prudential. Put them together, there are about 30 of them. And the amazing thing is that these 30 of them, they followed me for the past 10 years. Faithfully, for the past 10 years, every month I go there, they follow me. So about 3-4 years ago, suddenly the Lord dawned upon me that, hey, look, I have a captive audience. They are faithfully there. So why not I continue after my training in the hotel? The training start at 9:30, finish at 5. Why not I just continue having a Christian fellowship after that? But this is all insurance people. They are here to do business. So I floated the idea with a Christian with them. So the Christian, of course, the Christian are for it. So we started about 4 years ago with a manager, and surprisingly, many of them are very open to it, very open to it. And since then, about 4 years ago, after my training, we just proceed to have our Pinnacle Fellowship. I named our Christian Fellowship Pinnacle Fellowship. And we just continue our training, finish at 5 p.m. Then we will start our fellowship at 5:30 to 7:30. And many of them stay back. They even bring their agents to come. Yeah, and even some of them bring their clients or their candidates to come. So on the average, we can, every month, we have about 40 to 50 people who attend the fellowship. And amazing is that at least half of these people are non-believers. And they come faithfully in the past 4 years. Yeah, that's how.
So, I mean, Gordon, when they are unbelievers, of course, they also want to be blessed, not just, with hearing what we Christians want to hear. How did you incorporate, something beneficial for them and also for the believers? I mean, you had a mixed group.
Yes. When I started this fellowship, I am very clear that when I share with them, when I want to do this fellowship, I share with them that this fellowship, I assure them upfront that it's not churchy. You will not have any feel or smell of a church in this fellowship. So how not to make it churchy? I said that you will see minimum or no prayer. In a sense, you will see that kind of prayer. You have no singing, no collection of offerings. That means we come, we just start, and no singing, I just share. So that's one part. Because I told them that we want to take away the church feel. I said that today we come, we bring the church to you. So please come and feel comfortable. So that's one part of it. Second, I have to tailor my sharing that is very relevant to the needs of the insurance people. The insurance people has lots of struggle. I know their problem because I've been in this industry for 30 years. So I will have to look into the scriptures and pray, and God, how do I use the scriptures as I share it, and yet to make it relevant to these people, their needs. That's how I guess that the people, when they come, they find the Bible become very refreshing, very relevant to them.
Wonderful. But okay, that's what you were doing previous to COVID, right? But COVID came. Has it helped you I'm here is more about ministry, all right? Has it helped you in setting up marketplace ministries more, or affected it and made it difficult for you?
Okay, I'm still in a process of getting it right, Pastor. The whole amazing thing is that last year, towards the end of last year, somehow the Lord led me again to open up to this group of monthly Pinnacle Fellowship people that, hey guys, we've been meeting for the past 3 over years, and we only meet once a month when I come to KL. So I told them, what about those weeks that I'm not here? How about you, respectively, you all represent different agency, start a fellowship weekly when I'm not here. Then when I come every month, then we congregate together. So the same thing happened is that they say that the same thing Moses will tell God when God asked him to go to Israel. When I listen to your beautiful, to Egypt, Pastor, that it's the same answer people say. They say that, oh, I don't know how to talk. I don't know the Bible. I'm not trained. Who am I? Some say I'm a young Christian. Some say I'm a backslided Christian, or I'm not. All this same thing when I listen to your beautiful word. What Moses said to God to go Israel is exactly the same answer they said to me. To go to Egypt to deliver the Israelite. So I assure them that then we basically we encourage them. We why not you just come, because when in the book of Acts, when the disciples, when Peter come and speak, the people notice that these are unschooled people. All they need is that they have been with the Lord. And so I assure them. So I've been talking about that for the last 3 months in the last quarter. That means the last quarter of 2019. I've been talking about it. Weekly fellowship, do it in your agency, do it in your agency. So when COVID comes, the beautiful thing is that it seems like God is preparing me for this day. So when COVID comes, I could not travel to KL, Kuala Lumpur anymore. And they are now doing the weekly clinical fellowship in their respective agency. You know, it's to me, it's so amazing. Say, God, you're like preparing them. So we don't have a lot of leaders doing that. So far, we have about five or six teams doing that. And sometimes their attendance, there are 5 people in the team show up. Sometimes there are 2 people show up. Sometimes there are 1 people show up. Now, to me, the number of people showing up is not important. You know, not important. Important is that they are doing it. They are reaching it out. And we want to encourage them is that when they do this fellowship to reach out, we share with them 3 R's and 3 C. The 3 R is that the first R is the reason. Why are you doing this? Basically, is to obey Jesus' commandment as a witness to love one another. Then the second R, why we want to do this, is the result. The result is not about having a lot of people come, a lot of people know Jesus. No. The result is basically to know Jesus, to be like Jesus, and to make him known. That's the result. That we are not here to reach people and we also know the Lord. When they do it, they will know Jesus more. They'll be like Jesus more and to make him known. The third R is requirement. What's the requirement? To play this role, to start a fellowship. It's just ordinary men and women like us who has been with Jesus. That's all. So we hope this encourage these people to rise up. And then at the end, the other 3 C is what they do during the fellowship. They say, what do we do? So when people come, what do we do? Our agent or our leaders? I say basically 3 C's. First is to connect. How are you doing this week? How's business? How's family? It's just to connect on the day-to-day conversation. Second is then we go into the word of God, consecrate. You know, consecrate. And then thirdly is to communicate, is to pray for one another. So that's so simple in the fellowship. Yeah. And there's always a challenge here is that today in our group, there is an agency leader. So he need to ask himself how to bring his agent to attend. Then there's the other side is, this is an agent. The agency leader is not a Christian. How is he going to let us, the leader, to give him permission to run the fellowship to get others to attend? See, it's always both sides of the coins. So it's very interesting. But I thank God since COVID started, my wife and me, Daisy and I, has been faithfully connecting with these so-called leaders to appoint them and encourage them not to give up, to continue this fellowship. Because sometimes they feel discouraged. They're always concerned about they are not qualified. They need to prepare. They don't know what to say. So my wife, Daisy, will prepare the material even for them to share. It's basically to tell them you don't have to worry about what to prepare. We prepare for you. You just have to go through and share. Yeah. So this is what we have been doing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I like the 3 C's because it makes it so simple. Everybody can do it. You know, I think that's very important because there are Christians everywhere in the marketplace. You know, some in leadership positions like you. You know, some just in the marketplace. But most of us are silent. We're not salt and light wherever God has placed us. So it's wonderful to see. I mean, the insurance industry is going to be a huge industry in the times of uncertainty. All right. And I believe that God can use you to put, you know, salt and light into this. It changes their life. It changes. I think a good insurance agent is to me like a good cop, you know, a good policeman. You'll change society, you know, because they are everywhere, you know, and they are basically evangelists at heart. All insurance agents are actually natural evangelists. You sell insurance policy. The best insurance policy is God.
Yes,
you know? And,
exactly.
That's the best future. We sell a future. All right.
Exactly.
So you are in probably the best position. All right, Gordon, thanks for sharing with us.
Welcome.
Your big dream. And that's all. I think we have to go to our breakout rooms and then please stay back. I'm sure questions are going to be coming your way at the Q&A. Thanks for joining us, Gordon. God bless you. Yeah.
Thank you.